story name is Cook and Researcher, right? So as you see in my slide, there is a person who is a famous cook, and he is well known for his dishes. Whatever the dishes he is made, it is quite tasty and it is appreciated by all the audience, right? But it's not only his skill. Another skill is that he is also well versed in choosing the ingredient also. Whatever the material he will choose is the best. He can choose the best material out of several materials available. But that cook has one inability. That means that inability is that is not know the skill how to serve that food to the audience. Is very well. Is a very good cook. He is very well versed in cooking the very tasty dishes and choosing the material, but he is lacking in that. One day, what happened? The waiter is absent in the restaurant, and he has to serve that food to the audience or to the customer, you can say. And as you see in my slide, that when he want to serve the food, he just dump all the foods together, even if that food is tasty. And when you dump the food together and serve that food to the audience or the customer, you can see what are the faces customer are making. It's a horrible, right? So what happened? The customer definitely not interested in his food, and even if they have paid, they return their money and they rejected all the foods, and they give some bad remark also. The cook is very sad, and he's thinking, I am a very good cook. People admire me, but what happened? Even if the giving the same food, why people, it's not accepted by the people? Then he realized that yes, it is the way I serve the people. That's why. And he also learned that skill. He upgraded himself, and the next day he will serve another customer with another plate with properly managed. As you see in my slide, there's a difference between the two plate. If you see the this plate or your plate, there is a completely mess up. And if you see this plate, you can see everything is rightly placed and properly well mannered. And by serving this food, you can again see what is the face of customer. Okay. So what we learn from that story, as I mentioned, the name of that story is uh, Cook and Researcher. Let me allow my pointer option. So what we learn from that point of view, that the cook is nothing. He is the researcher like all of us. He is the researcher, and the ingredients he is using is nothing. It's our data which are used in our research. And the cook is making the process is making is good, that is your data analysis, right? And the serving is food is your report, or you may say it's not only the report, it's about our article, it may be our dissertation, it may be our thesis, or anything or any report format which you are going to present. So what we learn from that story, that even if you are a great researcher, you are master over the tools and techniques, you know how to analyze a big data, you know what, you are all versed in all techniques, and you are also using the good data. It may be qualitative data or quantitative data. You are well versed in data. But if you are failed to present your analysis, if you are failed to present your output in a systematic, in a logical manner, definitely it will not going to impress your audience. Your audience means all, you know, that maybe your policymaker, it may be your you can say different reader, it may be different researcher also. So what we need to know, you need to have developed proper clarity about how to present. If you present just like the cook has presented everything in the right place, if you present everything in the right manner with a logical sequence, definitely you have to going to impress you're going to satisfy your audience. So as a researcher, from this story we need to take care of these things into mind, and we also need to have a uh, know the we have to upgrade our skills of presentation, then only we can complete our research process. I'm not saying that data analysis is not required, I'm not saying that the tools and techniques is not required, everything is required, but whatever you do, the ultimately it depends upon how you present. And if you're not able to present the same thing, then you are going to lose the rigor of the audience. So with this, we'll go to the next slide. As you discussed that the presentation part is very important. So how you get that things? The first thing start from your, obviously we know that there are different process of the research, that thing from the research problem, I'm not going to talk on that. I'm going to the process of research. So everyone, whether you are, identify a problem or you develop a research question, first of all, you need to have a literature survey. You need some data. You need to some qualitative report, or you can say some literature is required to see that whether the same thing has been carried out by another person or not. And for that, earlier what happened, what I heard from my senior or my teacher, my professor, they told they used to sit hours in the library. It's talking about physical library. But nowadays, particularly in the pandemic, we all know that we all are in a digital forum also. So similarly, we're not required to go physical library. Yes, library has a lot of importance, but most of the time we are comfortable to go digital library, because digital library is convenient, digital library is time saving, so we can get a lot of data with a fraction of second. So so when you got about the data, we'll go for search engine. Okay, and we basically see internet is one of the major thing through which we can search our data. Okay, so with this I'll keep the next. But what happened, what is the problem with the internet? We know that internet is a big thing where we are get a lot of information at a time, or we can say we are in the information overload era. So we cannot say, we cannot choose which is right option for us or which is wrong option for us. We need to have proper clarity, we need to have proper skill to choose the right among the list of literatures available. I can found a beautiful peak from the internet. Here I want to show that we are all now living in the era of pandemic. We can say COVID-19 is affected all of us, not only India but also world. But there is also another disease, another pandemic. I call them as an infodemic. As you see that COVID has spread all over the world, but prior to that, there is another thing which is already spreaded, and which speed is also more than the COVID also, as you see in my slide. That is infodemic, that is means the information, the speed of information. And when I'm talking about speed of information, there may be some information which are not relevant, which are not reliable, which are not understandable. So we need to take care of that. Information is not required. We require qualitative information. We require reliable information. We require relevant information as well as which is understandable information. So when you talk about the information, there may be some search engine, as you know that you can go to that search engine, you can find that. But what happened when you go to search engine, that there are n number of things you can find. Suppose you click COVID-19 right now in the Google, you can find thousands of article, web pages, videos are available. But it's not necessary that you are going to use all of this material, all of the things in your subsequent research or in your study area. So what you need to do, you need to search a specific thing which is required in your study. And most of the time, even I also experienced during my master in my post graduation also, I search many things but I got little things. Sometimes you spend hours to search a particular thing, but when you get the things, you can find that most of the things are duplicate, and same thing, same file can be represented in a different manner. And sometimes also I also experience the same thing. When I search things, sometimes I not get actually what I want. Okay, so for that, what you required one right destination, number one. Number two is that even if you get the right destination, right strategy, right strategy, right? Am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
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 yes, sir.
yes.
Okay. So what right destination? As we are all researcher, we all know that some people are privileged with some good research institution or some research facility. Like some institution have, we can say, some good database, whether it is a Web of Science, whether it is a Science Direct, Scopus, ProQuest, like that. These are some of the destination which help you to get your proper data, your specific data in an easy manner. But we also need to accept the fact that all, even including me, we are not fortunate to get all such facilities. So normally, as a normal researcher, as a layman, we normally depend upon the open source softwares or open source database from where we are get our data, right? But even if whether it is a open source software or you are getting in a like a premium version of database like Web of Science or Scopus, the thing is that the right destination is also not sufficient. We need to make right strategy so that we will get the right information, right? So I'm not taking that you will get the right destination only Web of Science or Scopus are the right destination. They are, we can say, more upgraded destination, upgraded facility where you can get more relevant data. But compared to that, if you talk about some open source software, open source database like Google or some search engine I will talk about, even there also you are not able to get your data properly if you are not using your right strategy. So there are some strategy. If you use that strategy, you can get very good number of data, even open sources also, as well as in the premium databases also. So what are the strategy? First, we'll talk about that, because I strongly believe whatever I faced in my this research career, that initially I will read some bad article or some downgraded article. So if I get some, if my input is not good and I'm trying to make my output is a beautiful, it's next to impossible kind of thing. So what I need to do initially as a researcher, we need to choose the right sources, right material, and if I work on that, obviously we can able to produce a good qualitative output. So the first step start with a search. Okay, so this strategy is not necessarily used for only open source software or open source database. This is also applicable to all the premium databases. So first of all, I will discuss about Boolean strategy, right? Then I will talk about a parenthesis, phrase searching, use of Google Advanced Search, because this is most useful, and some open source search engine also, right? And one thing I can tell you that this is not only these are the only thing where you can find. There are other things are also there, but due to time constraint, I only want to highlight some of the important thing which you can use in your day-to-day life. And I can also give acknowledgement to domain of library science. Particularly, I am using these things from the library. I borrowed these things from library science domain. When I face this problem, I search in the internet and I talk to many library science friends and their professors, and I get to know that yes, these are the tool also we can apply in our versatile domain of research, whether it is humanities, whether it is management, in social science or science also. So what is Boolean strategy, or we can say Boolean logic or operator? Boolean logic operator is consists of three things. As you see in my slide, one is and, another is or, another is not. Okay. So you may be thinking that why we use Boolean operators, right? As I already told you, these are the strategy. If I use this strategy, I can make my search more comprehensive, more specific. And as you see in my slide, also I mentioned that to focus a search, particularly when your topic contains a multiple search item, and to narrow down your research. Okay. And when you're using these three operators, that is and, or not, please note that these are all capital in letter, as also I am as already reflected in my slide also. So these are all capital in letter. So how to use that? First, let's talk about the and. So in your search engine, I will first talk about the basic concept, then I will have a live demonstration also how you can use these operators in by searching your article. I'll show that also. So what is and? And you can use the and when you want to narrow down. We want a particular research, just like I mentioned my narrow down my search. As you see, I have want to show you three we can say round. So one round is talking about cloning, another is ethics, another is humans. But we want a article, or we want our search output which consists of all three things together, not one by one. But what happens if you go to Google and if you search cloning, ethics, or human, even if you use and, small and or comma, it can give you n number of results in which there may be somewhere There may be clone is used, somewhere ethics is used, somewhere humans are maybe used. But if we use and what will happen, you can get exactly that article where you can get three things together. As you see this gray area, this common area, just like that, you will get that things. So you can use and in your search. Just for example, you are searching uh, profitability and productivity. You can use profitability space and capital and then you use productivity in your search, whether it is a Google or a Google Scholar, any search bar, whether it is a Web of Science also, you can get exactly that article which consists of only productivity and profitability. So that is fast Boolean strategy. Then you can use OR also. What do you mean by OR? It will give your research area broad. For example, we are all now running with the COVID. Some of you may be interested to work. But what happens? Some article are using pandemic, some article are using COVID, some article are using novel coronavirus. So it's not necessary if you use search in only one word like pandemic, you may be going to miss some of the article which is based on COVID-19 name. So what you need to do, you need to just search COVID-19 or capital OR in pandemic. You can get the data. I will demonstrate all the things. Have some patience. Okay, some of participants raise hand. I can see, but kindly wait. I will demonstrate that also. Right. So or basically help you to get more data. Then last one is not. Not means it will give you distinction. Use not in search which exclude from your search. Okay. Narrow your search, telling the database ignore the concept. To suppose you know that suppose capital structure and farm value is over researched, right? Suppose if you search capital structure and farm value will come. Kindly excuse me because most of my example are from finance or commerce domain or managed domain. Maybe I don't know, some of participant maybe other domain may be joined, but as I am from that villain, so I'm just giving some illustrative or hypothetical example. Kindly bear with me, but you can apply the same philosophy, same concept in your domain also, right? So let me give you a simple example. Suppose you are searching GDP and inflation, right? But you want an article which includes the GDP but not inflation, for example. So you may write like GDP not inflation. It will give you that article which is only include the GDP, not the inflation. So it will, this is the kind of wording in which you can filter your search. But you also note one thing, but many sometimes because of some algorithm issue or some technical error, sometimes it will not work properly. Suppose somebody challenged me, sir, I saw the profitability and growth, and as you said that it should give only profitability, but I found one article it also included the growth. So in that case, I can say that it's the theory and it's a practical based, and from that whatever our experience I am telling. But some cases because of algorithm or because of some issue, it may give sometimes wrong result, but majority time it will give that kind of thing. Okay, so because of that also there are some other tools of search has been developed. That's why we are not only rely upon the Boolean strategy, but yes, often it will help you, right? So I hope you clear these three strategies. So what we talk about this Boolean, I will go back again. Just Boolean logic or Boolean operator means it is one of the technique or strategy through which we can make our search more specific, more reliable, and more specific data we can get. And there are three Boolean operators are there. One is and, another is or, another is operator. But all these character are capital in letter. Okay. Then we talk about parenthesis, right? What is parenthesis? Parenthesis means it will help you to identify a particular word or phrase. If you put bracket or you can say inverted comma, you can get astonished. Maybe some of you know that when I fastly know this, I get astonished that you can get exactly a specific amount of data. So it will give you more narrow down research. Maybe you will not get a particular article on that. Maybe you get, but sometimes what will happen, it will filter your last number to a particular limited number where you can able to more it filter manually also. So you can use parenthesis also. Next is in your phrase searching also. In phrase, the same as your parenthesis, but Here you use plus sign or minus sign to use your what you say, like article or your research output. Like corporate governance plus cash holding, I can search. Or you can say corporate governance, I exclude, just like not, I can exclude the profitability also, so it will give me a result. Like, so let's have some demonstration. You maybe get that result. Can you able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen? Uday sir?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's a normal Google. I'm not talking about any POS database also. I'll try to demonstrate you what we have discussed. Suppose you can see I'm searching productivity and not capital and, for example, let me first productivity and profitability. Sorry, right? FSR. Now you can see within 0.45 second we can get 6 crore 7 lakh something data. Okay, so it's a very huge. Now I will use one. You can get maybe some same data. Okay, now I will use bracket. You can see it come down to 84,000, 84 lakhs 50,000, right? Some number you can see that one is crore, another is lakhs, means there is a huge difference. Similarly, you can use or also. I hope you will get more data, but okay, it will give you, yes, it will give more data. Similarly, you can use not. These things you can experiment also from your own end also. You can see now it is came down to 1,470. Okay, that is the same terminology, but here I can get some more relevant result. But point to know that here I have used that both Boolean operator as well as parenthesis. Why? Because most of the time the library science domain or the researcher are recommended always use parenthesis. It will make you more specific. If I use only Boolean, may not be that much of relevant, but if you use that kind of parenthesis or bracket, it will give you a more comprehensive result, right? So this is the basic thing you can narrow down your research in if you search anything that you can do. So I'll not go into illustrate. You can illustrate the, because I'm just highlighting, just igniting. The same thing you can apply in your home also. You can see the result. So what are the next? Next, I'm going to talk about the Google Advanced Search. You can type in Google Advanced Search. I will provide all the material to you. I will hand over to Dr. Padhi. He will share to all of you. But so don't worry about the material. I will provide to all of you. So as you see, there is a Google Advanced Search also. If you type in Google search engine, Google Advanced Search, you can able to get that. Here I am already, because of the time constraint, I already opened that file. Now, Google Advanced Search give you more specific data. It will give you a good experience rather than the typing. There are some fields are already free exist. No need to worry about that. As you see in my slide, if you see all these words, this means just like my aunt, exact phrase means where I am using that parenthesis I am using. See, exactly same here also. Any of these words like or, none of these words like number ranging from, like that. So these you give you also again more specific. So I appreciate all of you use this Google advanced search in your day-to-day search. You can save your time and you can get more qualitative. For example, I'm searching again profitability and productivity, right? I can use, and it's not required maybe because it's already there. If I can use the parentheses in here because I am habituated to use that, that's I'm using, but you cannot use. You can see I'm getting 26,000 something. If I back again, if I use let experiment with this also, maybe I will get double. That means it is sometimes Google also not give you. Let us experiment with another thing. Productivity. Then I'll not use profitability. You can see minus symbol is already there and it will give some only profitability data. Maybe there are huge number of data, but you can see there is a changing in numbers, right? So Google Advanced Search also one of the good thing is that suppose you want only PDF, and you can say there are also some other use like file type. Suppose you want only PDF, you can choose PDF. Or suppose sometimes you search for PPT for your class or something, you can search also. There may be some PPT file also there. So same thing you can search here also like hyphen PPT or colon PPT. But Google advanced search, it will help you some give you more adequate data, right? So let me go ahead with is my slide visible to you? Uh, yes. So Google Advanced Search, I think we have already discussed. Then there is another search engine. There are some popular open source engine are also there. I will demonstrate all these things quickly so that you can know how to exactly get some Google qualitative of data. Then only you can use Manly or any software on that that will be make some sense. Or else if I get some not qualitative data, I'm trying to work on that, that doesn't make any sense, right? So one is your Microsoft Academics, which you can also use. Another is your googlescholar.com, right? Which most of the time we are using. There is also another good website. These are all free. This is Knowledge Map, Semantic Error, Get the Search, and Lens Organization, right? So I will show you one by one. So first one is your Microsoft Academics. Just go to Google. I will provide. I'm going to share all links in my manual. You can get. So normally we know that Google Scholar is the best search engine where we can get lot of data. But yes, you may be right. But there are some other sites are also there which can give you more filter option, which can give you more reliable data than the Google Scholar also. For example, here you can search cash holdings, right? Suppose this is the keyword I'm just searching. What is the beauty of this Microsoft Academics? You can find that it will give you a lot of article, but what is the thing is that here you can another filter where you can save your time, like you can frame like for 940 or like that, and it will more comprehensive because it's only meant for academic. That's why it will give you 1,828 only result. But here you can find some topics which is related to in your area. Suppose I want to work on cash holdings and I put that keyword, and you can see I can see some relevant similar topic like cash management, operating cash flow, cash holdings. So it will give you more filter. Okay, if I check on that, it may be again filtered to my data, right? As you see, then you can see what kind of data you are searching. It may be publication type or other or repository or only patent article. That is your also. And another thing is that here also you can get. So this, unless until you are not going for bibliometric analysis, you are not going to this kind of data in a normal search engine, provided it, if it has not that kind of facilities. But here you can find which is the best author or likely to be best in your area. So you can approach him or her to collaborative for a collaborative work, or you can take guidance of that fellow. So top author option is also there. Then top journal also there. Many times even I also experienced, I get sometimes confused which journal I will send and what is the right journal for me, what is the best journal for me. But here no need to search. You can find that which article maximum work is done on your topic. As you see that if I talk about cash holdings, you can see Journal of Financial Economics have highest publication on the topic cash holding, followed by National Bureau of Economics like the Journal of Corporate Finance. So you can know that, and if you filter on that also, you can get only article which belongs to Journal of Financial Economics. So that is the one other good thing you can find in that. Then publications type also I have talked about, and top institution also you can see which institution. Suppose you are a PhD scholar, or you are already completed your PhD, or you are MP scholar, you want to pursue your career, you want to pursue your PDF or like that, you can also get that which institution is working on my area. You can approach, you can go to institution. For example, you are working on cash holding for which you record a specific type of data, and you can find most of the people are working on data, but that data is not easily available. But what happened, here you can find these are the institutions which are working on my area. That means maybe they have that database or like that. So you can approach their faculties or any authority, or you can have a visit that institution, maybe sometimes if it is available in India, or you can find any network is available, you can get that data. So that is a good thing you can find in Microsoft Academics, right? And here you can cite also directly, you can cite just like Google Scholar. There's a cite option. There is another good thing that is sort by relevance. So for this article, the order of article has arranged as per my relevance. I can rearrange it as per my newest to fast also. You can see number may be same, but the arrangement has been changed. Similarly, you can change your view option also. There are other things are there. You can just experiment. What is you can explore that database. Similarly, there is another tool is there, Google Scholar. As all of you know that, just I'm putting the same word, maybe cash holdings. Google Scholar, all of you know that here also we can filter. But as you see, the Microsoft Academics have more feature than the Google Scholar. So Google Scholar is a good tool. We are using that. But what is the problem or limitation of Google Scholar is that it can give you duplicate files also. Suppose I can have my own account in Google Scholar. I can publish two articles in the same name, but you may get number of article at a time, but that article may be duplicate. So that is the problem with Google Scholar. But still, we can refer that Google Scholar. You can use this option for citation, and you can also find related article with that, and you can directly go visit the website of that relevant article is available. Then Open Knowledge Map. There is another site, but I can recommend you kindly visit this website if you are doing research on any topic. If you are writing thesis or any article, at least use this article. It will help you a lot in a lot manner. Okay, so as you see the map of research or map a research topic, there are two options available. Initially there is a PubMed and there is a base. PubMed basically used for life science people, but we can use like base of all discipline, right? And if you search, suppose I'm searching cash holdings. Now you can see what the good thing coming. Maybe some take some few seconds. Okay, I think my screen is visible. Okay, I think you can see a lot of boxes, round boxes are available, right? Maybe some of senior research scholar and faculties are also there. I think they have experienced that. Or when you, as a research scholar, when you reading your paper, you can see most of the time when you writing your literature review, you can find some most of the literature review, some article they are writing on section wise. For example, I'm working on cash holdings, then my literature review maybe start, suppose my literature review in the section 2, maybe 2.1 I can start like cash holding farm value. Another point 2.2 I can review like cash holding corporate governance, cash holding capital structure. Like that I can make different sections. Okay, and normally what I require to do, I first search the article, then again I will differentiate all the article according to the same base, then I need to write. Or suppose I am searching a particular topic, and while fixing up my objective, I can fix my objective on different dimensions. Suppose I'm working on the corporate governance, I can correlate the corporate governance on the farm value, corporate governance on capital structure. There I need to think. Okay, but what is the beauty of this open knowledge map, that it will give you exactly the segregation. So it will work for you, it will make your work more easier. As you see that the bigger circle means you can find that most of the article has done on that also. Another thing is that here also you can find where is the gap. Means suppose you are searching on FDI and you can find this kind of box, then you can find that which is the small box. That means related to FDI, this article has a less number of work. You can work on that topic, and you can, that means this is not over research, there is still scope for research. Okay, you can see this is the big box, and there is an article like excess of cash holding. If I click on that, you can see it is give me all articles which on that. Okay, it is also showing first article is about cash and cash equivalent holdings companies in India, does number block matter like 2005. Similar, this is the article. And if you click hit any particular article, it is also available in the right side. You can download it, or if it is a paid also, you can go to the appropriate website. Or if it is not available, it's not right to say in the public forum, but I can say, because most of our scholars which are not aware about that, they are lacking in that. There is a website known as SCI Hub. Okay, it will unlock all the paid journals. So you can go to that SCI Hub site, you can just paste the link, you can able to download all the premium article also there, even if your organization not accessing that journal. I have seen that some of the scholars also following that way. So that is one suggestion, those who are not privileged of getting premium. So like that, you can have some boxes, you can use that. Similarly, there is another website like Semantic Scholar. I'm not going to detail all these things. It is just like the Google Scholar. Here also on the code thing that you can get more filters, right? If you search this, I'm not going to search all the article, because if I search, then we'll miss our main focus on Mendeley. That's why I'm just giving you ideas so that you can experiment in your time. Similarly, there is another website known as Get the Research. Okay, what is the Get the, what are the advantages of this website? It will filter out and it will only give you peer-reviewed research papers. But what happens in general search engine, we maybe get some article which are not that much of standard. I can say it will give you good article, only peer reviewed. So it will make you some more your data more qualitative, which will help you in searching your literature, right? Maybe I switch over to my slide. All right. I think my slides is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is all about that open source search engine. So whatever till now, what we understood that in the research, first we need to get good qualitative of input. Okay, that input is your literature, and it's not necessary that we must have a premium database, then only we can do research. There are some open source also there. You can go to that, you can search that article which make your research. So this is the first step, we must careful about that. And while searching that search engine, there are some strategies like boolean or like parenthesis, we can use that to make our research more specific. But once you search that kind of literature, we may have bulk amount of literature, then we need to review that. We need to go one by one and to read that. That is called your literature review. You may be aware about that term, literature review. So why we are doing this literature review? Because it is essential to understand what has been done before, right? Because suppose I want to work on a particular topic, it's not the I am the first person going to solve. There may be n number of people who have already worked on that topic, and so if I work on the same way, it's not necessarily it's only a duplicacy. So in order to avoid duplicacy and to find out the knowledge gap where the work has not done or where there is a gap I can work so that I can contribute to the literature. For that I need to read that literature one by one. But when you're going to read that, it's not easy, that it's not that much of easy I can go and read one by one. There maybe it's not about 2 or 5 articles. There may be 100 articles, there may be 30 articles, there may be 50 articles with 20 pages, 50 pages. So it's not that much of easy we can read that. Okay. And not if I go sequence wise, read by one article complete, I will go to another article. It will not necessarily I will reach my destination of my whatever topic I want to research. So we need to ask some couple of questions to ourselves that am I organizing my literature systematically after putting so much hard work in my collection? I also need to ask myself, am I going to find my particular literature easily without less effort out of my bulk literature? And most important is that can I arrange or customize my literature as per my convenience? It means suppose you downloaded 50 article and you want only suppose David Jones article. Can you able to find that within a fraction of second? Suppose you want you downloaded 50 article. You want all the article should be arranged in the like year of publications, that which is the oldest to fastest or fastest to oldest. Can you able to do that? Can you able to do that? Suppose you want only some article which is my favorite, that should I need to regularly visit that. Is that possible? You need to ask yourself. And I tell you frankly, what I usually do when I'm not exposed to Mendeley also, generally I downloaded this all the article, I store it my folder, I rename it. Same article I may rename it folder, same article I rename it read, same article I may rename it some title name, like that, most important. And I was doing research like that. But when I get to know about Mendeley, I'll tell you how the same things can be easily solved without a fraction of a second. Like, so once you clear about that thing, and if you're not clear also, no issues with that. What is required? You required a, just like suppose you have a lot of work, you are a busy person. It's not necessarily that you will remember all your appointments, all your commitment. You can appoint a personal assistant who can assist you and who can remind you, sir or madam, this is the time you need to go this time. So similarly, if you have a lot of work are there, lot of research articles are there, you can appoint a assistant, and the assistant is nothing, he is your reference manager, or you can say your reference manager. Yes, it's the reference manager, and you need to require that reference management skill, right? So what is the reference management? It is all about a systematic process of organizing your search literature, right? Why you need to organize the search literature? Because it is, you can easily retrievable that article, you can citable that article, right? Some of maybe senior scholars are there, they know this term, what is citable and is retrievable, though some of students are also joined. I'll tell you, don't worry about that, what is citation and this term citable. I will discuss this just few minutes later, right? So till now we understood that even if we get a bulk amount of literature, it is not it's not the end here. We need a proper reference management tool or reference manager which can help us to organize these data, or we can say which can help me or make me able to answer all these questions, right? So that reference management, and I just talk about citable or citation. Some of you thinking that what is citation? These terms are we are going to often use when we talk about Mendeley. That's why we need to have proper clarity on these topics. So what do you mean by citation? It's all about citing or referencing means we are going to acknowledging the original source, right? So you may thinking why we need to give acknowledgement in my research or topic. I have thought that he has done that. He maybe got that paper publication. Why you need to give acknowledgement? Why need to I refer that person name in my article or my work? Okay, that also we'll discuss that. So there are two terms are pop up here. One is citation, another is reference. So I can give a right example by showing an article. You can see this is the article just recently published, Journal of Behavioral and Experimental Finance. The article talk about coronavirus and academic, pandemic or financial market. While you read your article, you can see some of the name are there, just like you can see Clean and Chiang 2020. That means whatever statement I am writing, that statement I borrowed from this person, right? That's why I need to give proper acknowledgement on that. So this is the process of giving acknowledgement to that person, right? So this process of giving acknowledgement is known as your citation. So, or we can call them as a in-text citation, right? What is in-text citation? So if I give any person reference inside my article, this is known as citation. There may be different styles are also there. I will talk it a little bit later, but you just understood this is citation. Then a person cannot know, suppose I am writing Chen and Chiang, so I don't know who is that. I need to give a detail of that. The detail of that is reflected in last part of my article, detail that is called a reference. As you see in my slide, this is your references, right? Coming to next, what is reference? So I talk about I'm giving details. So detail about what? I'm going to detail about a lot of things like title of the article, journal name, year of publications, volume, page numbers, authors. And please mind, this is for journal only. It can be vary from if I want to going to refer a book, I want to give some other informations also. So, but for time being, I'm giving only a illustrative example like a referencing journal. You can inquiry from your different sites also. You can read that. Will give you more insight into that chapter. Okay. So this is all about reference. So what you understood? Reference means detailed explanation of the citation. Citation means acknowledgement only in the article or in the body of article, right? So what constitute a reference? I already told you scientific articles. I maybe give citation about the books. I maybe give citation about the policies, official sources, website, personal communication, linkage, drive box. Even suppose you are a media person and you are writing some article, you maybe give some citation, some speeches, some videos, some news articles. Okay, you can give that in your references. Then why we use reference? Just few seconds later, before we just discussing why I need to give acknowledgement to others. Okay, is it necessary that I will give the acknowledgement to others? The answer is here. First one is that if I'm not giving acknowledgement, I'm using another person work. I am committing an offense. I am committing an crime, which is known as plagiarism in the research language. Okay, for that my article get rejected or my work get be penalized. That's it. So to avoid the plagiarism, I need to give proper acknowledgement, proper citation to the original source. Another thing is that I need to help the readers to find the original sources. Suppose somebody is interested, I am citing suppose Das and Sethi, then that person need to find out that who is the Das and Sethi, what is their work actually. He maybe get some more insight that. So in that way, it's also help the readers to go to the original sources. And another way that I can demonstrate that how much familiar with that topic also. And another thing is that suppose I'm saying something. Suppose I'm saying that in this COVID-19 era, there is a we can say there is a shutdown. The shutdown has a negative impact on our production. So I may be thinking from my side, or maybe it's my own. Just I just give a just a statement without any logic or without any proper research. But if I give citation, that will validate my work. That will validate my statement. That will make my argument more strong. That yes, it's not only my voice, there is some collective voice also there, which are talking the same thing that will make my research more relevant. Use the references. Right thing is that uh, I borrowed this term from a interview speech of a professor of Harvard, and he's talking about quality. So one audience asked him, "Sir, what is the qualitative research? Is that if I publish in a good journal?" Now again, the term will be subjective. What is a good journal? A good journal means we may assume that the journal which is ranked by the our ranking index, like you can say ABDC or Scopus or some recognized ranking system is also there. We assume that till now these are the good journal, right? So now question comes, suppose by hook or crook or by some way I can publish my article in a good journal. Is it necessary that my article be qualitative? Okay. And the answer of that professor is that it's not necessarily your article be qualitative, because you may publish many ways. Suppose you have been known with the editor of the fellow and you do something, you maybe publish that. So it's not necessarily that your article is going to be qualitative. But yes, that article, that journal has some standard. If your article or anybody's article is cited or reflected or acknowledged in that article, that journal, then obviously your article is qualitative. That means there are some standard journals are there. If they are recognizing any work means obviously your work become more qualitative. So this is a good thing I found that I should share all of you. I am, because I am agree with this statement. You may be some of maybe disagree with the statement, but I thought it's a good statement we should discuss. So that's why I can say that citation plays a lot of role. I may publish 10 article, but if my citation is zero, I cannot proudly say that I am a very good researcher, because my work is not referred by anyone. So your citation reflected how much operationally efficient your article. So we must be careful about that. Then what text need a reference? Is it necessary that I will give all the things into reference? I'll acknowledge all the things? Not necessarily. I need to acknowledge some of the specific things, like all the statement or reports that results are not based on your data, right? Which is not yours means you have to give citation or references. Any special method or programs you are used, and more specifically anything which come under plagiarism. That means anything is not yours, the same thing, you have to give a references. So next question comes, should I give reference to everything which is not mine? Now I understand that I need to give references all the things which is not mine. That means everything is not, the answer is also not necessarily yes, it is no, because there are some things which are just like your common sense. You don't need to give reference because there is no reference. We know that moon is smaller than earth, so not necessarily I need to cite. Okay. Similarly, India is one most populous country in the world, we know that, so it's not required any citation, right? So with these things we need to have proper clarity that will help us to write our article to make a qualitative research. Now comes, when I give citation style, you can see there are, every article is not same way. If you read the article, the way I'm talking about in-text citation, this means the body part of that paper. So you can find there are some article have given a different way, some article may be given a different way. When I was a researcher, actually I don't know what, when beginning of my MPhil also, I don't know how this is writing. So one day what happened, I just saw one article, they are writing this way. In some portion of my paper, I write one way, another portion I write another way. Then I showed some of my senior. They say that what you did like this is, there is no uniformity. You need to go with that. And most important that it's not our wish that I can make any style. It's maybe journal specific, it may be your supervisor specific, it may be your institution specific. So according to their requirement, we need to customize our what should I say, like citation style. So in broadly, we can say that the entire citation style or citation has been segregated into three categories. One is number style. I will go into illustrate all these things. Another is your author date style. Another is your footnote style. So number style means here you can find the three styles are there: Vancouver, IEEE, AIP. IEEE means Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. It's basically your technological field there basically follow this kind of thing. Similarly, AIP means American Institute of Physics. So they are following the number style, right? Then author style basically there are two kinds are measured there. One is Harvard, another is APA style. APA stands for American Psychological Association. In our social science domain, most of the time, particularly management and commerce, were using this Harvard and APA style. Then similarly, then another style like Chicago. Okay, this basically followed by the English people or literature people. These are basically footnote style. So right now we may be confused what is number, what is author date. I will show it. Okay, no issues with that. So this is your number style, right? I think you can see my slide. There is a statement is mentioned, and in the superscript form it is mentioned like 1 and 2. What is that? 1 and 2. That means I am saying this statement I borrowed from 1 and 2 sources of my article, the references. So if a reader want to know, then he will refer to the 1 and 2, and he can able to find that okay, 1 means this Bissell and 2 means Harris. Okay, so this is known as your number style. So if I cite inside of my article, if I cite this manner, I can say I am following the number style, right? Next one is your author style, which I think most of our management and commerce people are using that. So here it means DM. Suppose I'm writing a statement, then I'm writing Stevenson, Etel. Etel basically will use for when there is a more than two author, multiple author case, we are using that Etel. Then this is the author and this is the date. Similarly, Gion and Murray, 2008. So this is the year of publication. This is the author to author. Okay. So if I want to know what is this author and where it is located, then normally author style follow a alphabetical order in the reference list. So if you go to reference, I can tell you that you can see this like this is alphabetically ordered like a banker, like central tribal. I have borrowed from a scientific article. I'm not going through this. So director general. So basically one thing get to know that author that means I need to highlight inside author surname and their year, and whatever the detail of description of that author will give in the reference, and reference is arranged in a alphabetical manner, right? Then come to last style, that is footnote style. Okay, footnote style is means Chicago style. What you can find, this is a combination, this is a hybrid of your author date and you can say number style also. Okay, you can see that in this portion it's mentioning like 1 and 2, just similarly my previous, but the same thing is reflected in my footnote also, right? So every page we need to read and we need to give footnote instantly in that page, and the detail of that things again rearranged in my references. So 2 times we need to give that reference. Okay, these are the already predefined styles. Okay, and what is the thing is that here again we follow like a Harvard style or APA style. We need to arrange our references in an alphabetical order, right? But here we need to arrange our footnotes in a number manner, just like IEEE or Vancouver we are doing. So suppose I'm writing a statement, I'm citing 1, that means I will give immediately in footnote. I'm writing another person, citing another person 3, then I will need to give in third order. But it not necessarily it will give in the first reference list, because suppose as you see, the third is about some Z. Okay, so if I arrange, there may be n number of pages in my article. So if I arrange, it will arrange as per alphabetical order. So Z must be come in the last part of my references. So this way you can arrange footnote style, right? Now these things, as you already know, these are not easy tasks to do. We need to do a lot of hard work to arrange our references. And most of the time, what is the problem? You know, I also face the same problem. A few years ago, I wrote an article and I sent one journal for publication, and my article get rejected. Okay, and that journal mentioned to give my references in APA style, right? So I arranged a APA style and I write everything. So when I get rejected, I again sent to another journal, and he said again you need to arrange it Harvard style. So I need to check manually again and again, change all the references and pasting, and you can do that. But that I will tell you that will take a lot of time to do, and it will also include lot of errors also. And another thing is that reference means is all about I have to give all the information which I have cited in my body of my article. But what happened? Sometimes maybe I have cited in my body of article, but I forgot to uh, write in my reference list. So that's why maybe my article get rejected. Or some of my references are not uniformly arranged. For example, suppose one reference I'm giving page number, another reference I may not able to give page number. So that is also create a lot of issue. So in order to minimize all such issue, we need to an electronic reference manager, which is more advanced, which is more comprehensive. Now here we are using one reference manager, that is your Mendeley, right? You may be thinking about why Mendeley. I will tell about that in my lecture. But why electronic? I think I have already discussed that is because manual management is a mess. We need to order our article. It's a time consuming. There may be variation. There may be some kind of errors. That's why we require an electronic manager. So why we require electronic manager? Again, it is easy to store, easy to share, easy to access, easy to search, retrieve, and cite. I can answer all my question, which I asked from the beginning at the time of research literature review. I think you can do all the things with electronic manager. I will try to experience you that when we discuss more deeper into the Mendeley, you can at least visualize that how can things are getting more easier, right? Then some of the electronic reference manager tool is not necessarily only Mendeley is there. There may be some more tools are available. EndNote is there, Jotaro is there, Papers is there, Kolu is there, Redcube is there. Okay, but as we have choose only one topic, Mendeley, so today we'll focus on Mendeley only. And I will tell you that there are some limitations of the Mendeley which can also get compensated by the other manager tool also. For example, Jotaro, you can reference some video file also. You can refer some audio file also, but that cannot be possible in Mendeley. Mendeley is basically literature, PDF, or article based, print based, but it is electronic media based also. You can here refer all the things here. So for the time being, most of the time you are using a literature on print literature or on online e-literature. So we will follow the Mendeley. So what is the Mendeley? Mendeley, so far we know that Mendeley is a reference manager. Mendeley is a reference manager tool. But what makes Mendeley more acceptable by your academic community? That is, it is user-friendly software, right? Why I'm talking about user-friendly? Because it can be available in almost all platforms. You can use it Mendeley in your mobile phone, Android phone. You can use in your web. You can use it your desktop. You can use in Linux. You can use in Mac. You can use in Windows. So it is compatible almost all operating system. It is compatible almost all devices. That's why we can say it's a user-friendly, right? So as you see in my slide, there are three versions or three ways we can access the Mendeley. One is your desktop, another is Mendeley web, another is your mobile, right? Coming to next. But thing is that when there is a multiple option, you need to take care of certain thing that suppose you may be using some article in mobile, some article in desktop, some article in web, but you need to give a synchronize, okay? And if you give, I will talk about how to synchronize all the things, but and that is also advantages of Mendeley that even if any device you can access, you can get all the things at a time at any. Suppose some article I downloaded in my mobile, if I sync it with my Mendeley, I same article also I can read from where my desktop also. Uday sir, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, okay. So I will try to conclude within the 5 to 10 minutes. So don't maybe organizer has give a recommendation to conclude. So I will conclude, no issues. Okay. I will try to make it more comprehensive. So this is the Mandy, and I can say that it's the academic social network. That means it is. We can assume that is the face. It means your academic, or we can say social network, or we can say it is a Facebook kind of thing. Okay, so Facebook means what can I say that just like Facebook or any social media you can find, you can highlight your own work, right? You can highlight your some credentials. You can have your own timeline, you can say. Just like Mandley also have their own social network, you can create a social network among your academicians. Okay, and it is most also largest crowdsourced database publications. What do you mean by crowdsourced? I can say that crowdsourced means you can say it is community based. Means all it is a database of all the person who have installed the Mendeley, right? All the article who have installed Mendeley means suppose we 10 people have installed the Mendeley. You have downloaded some paper. I have downloaded some paper. Another person downloaded some paper. So in Mendeley database, total 30 paper is showing. So even if I have not downloaded any paper, if I search, I can able to find some of the article. Okay, if he is publicly shareable, if that person make it shareable. So that is the way, and we can see if you have any doubt regarding Mendeley, you can visit the Mendeley website. There is a good support team. We can almost all support all your queries. Then we'll give to real acknowledgement to Mendeley. Now I'll show you how to install Mendeley. As I can told you, you can install Mendeley in 3 ways, either in desktop, either in web, either in mobile app. So for that, you need to visit mandley.com, www.mandley.com, where you can find a window like this. I have taken a screenshot from that, right? Then what you need to do is that you need to create a free account. It's completely free, okay? And, you can you have to give your mail ID, and you have to register yourself. So just like the next process, and here you can see Elsevier name is given. So I'm not going to highlight here what is the history of Mendeley, when the Mendeley has first time discovered, because these are the informative things. The same things you can find in Mendeley website also. So that's why I'm not highlighting what is Mendeley, what are the origin of Mendeley. But Mendeley is essential. You can install that. You have to give mail ID and password. But so far my experience is concerned, you don't. I advise you. I'll suggest all of you that please don't use your official email ID. Why? Because sometimes you may change your official website, change your office, or change your job. In that case, if you change your job and your email ID become invalid, then at that case you cannot able to retrieve all your data. You need to again write the mail to the Mendeley authority. They may allow you. So it will cumbersome process. Better to use your own personal mail ID so that you can avoid such kind of things. And remember always your password and email. That is, I think, self-explanatory. So once you do all the things, that's it. You can create your account. Okay. Once you create your account, you can get a icon like this in your desktop. I can show you. So you have to just run it as you manually. You have to typically. Then you can get this kind of Mendeley desktop icon. And when you get a desktop icon, you go to your desktop, and when you first time click on your Mendeley icon, you can get this kind of a window, because your Mendeley account is created, as I mentioned earlier, that there is 3 ways. One is web based, another is desktop based, another is your mobile based. So your web based account of Mendeley has been created, but the same account is not created in your desktop. So once you download it in the desktop, the icon is launched. You need to again write the name, and you need to log in again in your desktop, provided that there should be an internet connection. Otherwise, it will not open. And please note that you need to log in the same mail ID, same user ID, or same password, or else it will not sync in the future, right? So if you give, you need to provide internet. So once you log in, you will get a window like this. This is the basic window of Mendeley. And try to quickly overview of what is this window, what does it mean? Because today I will suggest all of you download the Mendeley, have a visit on the window. Tomorrow we'll go to in detail discuss different technicalities, how to solve all the research writing problem, most of the reference problem through the Mendeley. So here you can see this is the file, this is the tab menu, just like any Microsoft Word. You can see these are the tab menu, and this is your sync menu. This is the most important menu where you can sync your article. So suppose you downloaded some article in web. If you sync, it will get sync with your mobile as well as in desktop. And what is the good thing in Mandley is that Mandley automatically sync every time you open your Mandley. But it is always suggested that you manually also do, because sometimes maybe taking due to network issue may not be synced. Then there is a search option also there. You can search anything within your Mendeley library. And there is a three panel. This is the left hand panel. This is your middle panel. And this is your third panel. And what you need to see is that this left hand panel, there are some folders also there. These are very good. We can say these are control panel or just like control button where you can control all of your Mendeley. What are the usability of all the feature we'll discuss tomorrow, but we need to have a idea on that. Then this is your article where all article you can see. And what is the good thing that we can arrange as per your own convenience. Just like I mentioned, I can arrange as per my own author basis. I can arrange as per title basis. I can arrange your basis like that. And this is the third panel. This is your bibliography panel, or we can call it as a meta panel or metadata. Okay, so here we can give all the information of your article. Similarly, suppose as you see in my slide, this is the first article which is highlighted, and you can see here the title of article, here the year, here volume, here issue number is missing, page is given, and enter abstract also you can give. I'll discuss that how to explore this metadata tomorrow also. But for time being, you can see these are your meta panel. Okay, so these are the basic window of Mendeley. Next thing is that one of the advantages that you can directly search article, directly download your article in the Mendeley window or Mendeley library directly. How can you do that? You can you have to install two things. One is your web importer, another is your MS Word plugin. So what is web importer? Web importer, you can say it's a tool which link between Mendeley and different databases. For example, I want to search article in Science Direct, and I want to directly show in my Mendeley library instead of downloading in my computer and again copying it and pasting it or importing in my Mendeley library. Instead of doing all this process, you can directly straightly import all the article to your Mendeley library. So for that, you require one add-in that is called web importer. And another thing is that even if you downloaded, where you are going to write article, Mendeley is the not place where you can write article. Either you write your article in MS Word or you can write in LaTeX software. Okay, so whether it is LaTeX or MS Word, you have to use one MS Word plugin. So I'm not talking about LaTeX because I'm not that much of friendly in LaTeX because I'm not using most of the time social science. We are not using that, though it is allowed, but most of the science people are using LaTeX. So I'm not going to LaTeX here. You can see in other discussion, maybe I will talk about how to install LaTeX plugin also, or LaTeX Mendeley connection. But here we need to use MS Word plugin because most of the time we're using MS Word. So first is that web importer, you can directly import from your Mendeley desktop, you can install that, or from web also. So how to from Mendeley web importer? As I told you, in the top left side corner, there are different tabs. One tab is your tool tab. And if you go to tool tab, you can find there is a install web importer. It will give you a dialog box. In that install web importer is there. And if you click on that, you will get this kind of window. Okay, it will take you directly to the website, and where you just give instruction, just download your Mendeley web importer. Once you downloaded, how can you know that? There is a Mendeley icon will be available in your search, just like your bookmark you are showing in your search bar in the top corner of that. You can find this kind of things. Okay, so I will tell you that how to do that and what are the problems generally face people and how to resolve that also. Then method 2, go to search engine as usual, Google, go to search engine and type Mendeley web importer extension. You can also download. Okay, so what are the advantages? Use that you can customize that web importer, but certain things you can have to make caution while you are installing web importer. That is, your toolbar need to be customized, and you ensure that your browser use the default browser, because suppose your default browser is Chrome and you are accessing in like Firefox, it may not be available. So you need to have a clear idea about that. And how to do that, I will first tell, then I will go to Microsoft Word plugin also. There directly I can tell you. I can show, is my screen is visible? Uday sir?
Yes, sir.
Maybe my which screen is visible? My web side or my slides only?
Slides are visible, sir.
Okay, let me check again then.
Sir, can you enable the chat box?
Yes, sir, just you can now enable the chat box.
Please
Okay,
enable
okay.
it. So,
Yes, yes. I'm just going to end because this is my last part. Once it is end, I can able to show you.
no, before ending, sir, please enable the chat box so we can share the feedback link.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes, yes. Right now, I can maybe I will go to allow each other chat box so that you can just give a moment. Yes, it is enabled now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So I'm just want to show you just quickly. You can all of you can able to see there is in right corner of my search bar there is a Mandy icon. Okay, this is my web importer as I have already installed, so it is showing. So you can also install and you can able to see that web importer in your what should I say, like in your browser. But most of the time, sometimes even if you install successfully, you will not able to find that kind of things. Okay, so what you need to see that there you can do one thing, either maybe sometimes it is unpinned, you can see in Google Chrome. Now see, as I have unpinned, it's not going to, I'm not able to see the same things again. So what I need to do, you need to pin it again, or you can go to your settings also, you can do customize that for also. Now the next thing is that that is your Microsoft Word plugin. Microsoft Word plugin, either you can search in Google and you can add a manually Microsoft plugin, or there is another way also. I can show you directly manually window. I can let me share it again. Is my manually window is able to? Can you able to see? Hello.
Yes, yes, it's
Okay,
visible.
okay, okay. So you can go to toolbar also. You can see just like install web importer. Similarly, here is another option. Will get install MS Word plugin. That also you can do because I have already installed. That's why it is uninstall. It is showing. Maybe I can show you that. Suppose this is now uninstall. When I click on the hit on the uninstall, it will showing me that are you uninstall. If I put yes, then it will uninstall, and it will ask me again to uninstall. Okay. So that way also you can access this. So tomorrow I will advise all of you kindly, I'll suggest all of you kindly at least install these two web importer or MS Word plugin and install your manually obviously, so that whatever I will discuss immediately you will go back and will retrieve. And why I'm not encouraging hands-on session, because it's an online mode. If I hands-on, it may be delay or a session. That's why all the video, complete video is recorded. So you can refer the same video again in your leisure time, and you can access whatever we have discussed. So this is mostly I want to discuss. Let me quickly conclude my session. So I think I have already reached the time, exceed the time limit. With this, I will thank all of you for your patient listening, and I'll end my part of discussion with a famous line of Warren Buffett, that he says that the best investment, though he was known as a great investor, in fact, is a value investor in our finance domain. He said that the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. That means the more you learn, the more you earn. And I hope all of you have already invested so much of time here for learning purpose. I am also learning. So I think this is the best thing we can do. With this, I will say again, thank you all of you. Now I hand over session to the organizer. He may carry over what are the next agenda. You can put it, just carry it over. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Satish sir, for your valuable contribution. Now we are concluding our first day of our workshop. In this first day, we have learned many things from Sachidananda sir. He is explaining the introduction to Mendeley, what is the pictorial variation about the book and researcher in which they elaborate all the researcher knowledge by knowing this book and researcher example. Also, they explain that information overloaded era in this technological operation, types of research engine like meta research engine, the searching strategy, Boolean logic, application parenthesis,
I think there is some noise in your voice. It's not audible properly, sir. It's audible, but some noise is coming, I think. Okay, you may carry on. Tomorrow we'll sort out that.
Yes. Okay, after that, he has explained that is a Google Advanced Search. That is Google Scholar, Microsoft Academics, then Semantic Scholar, then get the research citation, and he has explained what is the importance of citation. Your citation reflects your quality of research and the plagiarism about the original research. Then he explained about the introduction of Mendeley, how to install, what is the step how to manage that. This is the introductory part of Mendeley. I think tomorrow we will discuss everything about the application part of Mendeley. And whatever surface we will install it, and also go through details about that, and so that it can be fruitful. And after that, I'd like to thank Uday Naik sir, assistant professor, Autonomous College, Raigada, and Viswanatha Naik, assistant professor in C College, Prabhat Kumar Janak, assistant professor at DK College, for the valuable advice and technical guidance. Last but not least, I'll give special thanks to South Odisha Youth Association for the technical support, so that whatever we are having this evening or tomorrow evening, due to the technical support of South Odisha Youth Association, hope in the future also we can get many valuable support from the South Odisha Youth Association. And we are now concluding today's session, and hope you just wait for a few seconds. If possible, we will send a feedback link of today's session. So you have to wait. Right now, but we have ended our session. Thank you all. Officer, you can send the feedback link.
Yes, sir. You saying?
Feedback link in the chat box. Otherwise, you will say it in the second day.
I don't know about that. Maybe some of your team member may be taking care of that. I
We will
think
send it tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the whoever after present tomorrow will be the criteria to select for the selection of certificate. Okay.
can you
Thank
end
you
our
all.
meeting?
Yes, we can end our meeting.
So tomorrow we'll again meet at same time. And if you have any queries,
Yes, sir.
also
And
you
if,
can mail me also personally. If I understand that many of you have some lot of queries, but because of time constraint, it's not possible. You can write me personally in my mail also. I'll try my best to clarify your doubt if you have some special query, right? And
and Sofis are also in our WhatsApp on Medialite group, so no worry about that.
okay, thank you, sir. So I am ending here the meeting because
Yes,
you
yes,
make
yes,
host in the host button. Thank you.
yes.